Hello and welcome back to another Java Coast video. A lot has happened since we last spoke. For starters, I finished my stables, which I was meant to complete in the last episode but run out of time. So that's done. I haven't actually finished the interior, so that's a bit bad, but I mean I've got the horses moved in. Although saying that, one of the stables is complete. I think I showed this in the last video, but you guys can see it anyway. There's also an upstairs area, but it doesn't function as anything right now. But to catch you guys up to date, because to be honest, I've spent the week playing the game but forgetting to click the record button. So I died in the Nether trying to help Square and Chuck prank Zen. So I jump online and I start heading towards Zen's base through the Nether. I go the wrong way through the fortress and 3 wither skeletons jumped on me, knocking me into lava. I quickly disconnected to try and figure out what I could do, and then I realised I had ender pearls on me. I was quick enough to pearl out and land somewhere, however I had no idea where I landed because I didn't check my F3 before I died. Long story short, Zen, Caden and I all tried finding it in the Nether, however it took us way more than 5 minutes to figure out where I died, and I lost all my stuff. But there is good news with that, because as you can see, all of my stuff is now netherite, or my armour at least, because we got an upgrade. Zen and I also went bombing the Nether as a little revenge party to get some ancient debris. So yeah, now I'm kitted out armour-wise, and I've got all the trim that I wanted, and it's just looking sick. I mean, even the emerald bit on the top to match my laurel crown. So that's cool. You'll also notice, which I forgot to point out, that I'm using shaders. How lovely does this look? I'm using the complementary shaders reimagined, I think. Which is the first one that I found and I liked it. Oh, I've got the map mod, just because it's handy to figure out where people are, but I won't be abusing that. I don't want to use the mini-map because I don't like the idea of it. I can't remember what this is called. I think it's called like detailed animations or something. Zen recommended it to me, and it's pretty much just for this that I downloaded it. I do want to start making this area look a bit more lively. I want to get some houses in. I want to link up this stables with like a pathway going up into here to create a town centre. But for a moment, I want to continue digging out this area, and I want to cut into this a bit more to make a bit of a cliff face while getting rid of some of this forest. And I also want to clear up some of these bits, like in there, I don't really like. But yeah, let's see what we can do, and I'll let you guys watch it. Worth mentioning that places like this, areas that I do want to fill out with dirt, just to create a much more natural landscape. And with that, we have finished our terraforming temporarily. I've got a full inventory, and you can see all of the dirt that's still left on the ground. So I'm just going to go empty that into the chest down by the bridge and continue. But it's looking nice and flat. Obviously, I'm not going to keep it completely flat because that just adds a lack of a third dimension. So I will put my own terraforming skills to the test, I guess, just to see what I can do, but I want it to make I want to make it look natural, like the rolling hills that you do get in Italy, have farmland lined up. I want it to look nice, but I just got to figure some stuff out first. As I'm looking at it, I think that this has opened up a nice bit of space to put a temple. As I said, I'm going to cut down this cliff this hill to look a bit more cliff-like, have some exposed stone. And yeah, I think I might even raise this platform a bit to look more natural with some dirt. Oh, I don't know, because a temple could go on the top of this hill, actually. Yeah, okay. So no, I've decided. No, I'm not going to have a temple up here. The temple will go onto this cliff overlooking the rest of the town, I think. Okay, I keep getting sidetracked, but actually, before I do start any more terraforming, I just want to make sure I've got all the blocks that I need. So in those 2 chests by the bridge, I do have all my sandstone and some woods and stuff, but I definitely need to get some more clay. So I'll probably try and find a lush caves biome or something like that, because I do not have enough brick. I'll also look to get some spruce wood over there, just because I think spruce complements sandstone the best, unless you're using stripped. But in terms of an actual using it as like wood framing, I just think spruce and sandstone is beautiful. So I'm going to collect a load of that, some clay, but I won't film that, and I'll come get back to you guys. Yet another sidetrack. I also want to build an automatic kelp farm, because I'm constantly running out of fuels. So that would be really handy. I'll probably build it over in this district and just cover it in a building, which is something that I'll do with most of my farms, so that it encourages me to build, and so that my buildings have a purpose and a use, and, you know, functionality. Right, so with all the resources gathered and I've cleared a little parcel of land, we are ready to build the kelp farm. For this farm, I will be following a YouTube tutorial by a user called uforced. I'll be sure to link him and the video in the description down below. As of the time of recording this particular segment of the video, I haven't quite figured out how to use replay mod, mainly because I haven't been bothered to watch a video on it yet. But hopefully there will be some snippets of me using replay mod in this video. However, if there's not, then apologies. So I'm currently in a group with Zen and Chuck, because Zen and I are planning on building a clay farm. I think they're talking to me right now because he's looking at me. Were you talking to me? Because I just started recording and I muted you both.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Never mind. You're good. Where are you gonna do it? That's all.
Let's go find a spot for it.
No, I think you got all that dripstone. You could definitely do a lava farm too.
I could, but the problem is with lava for me is that you have to remove the buckets and stuff, whereas I want to make... I was talking to Zen about it actually. I want to make this feed into an automatic smelter.
Yeah.
Where's Zen gone?
I'm still over here. I'm organizing the materials, just going through the list and making sure that we're not missing anything else. I think we got everything in this box. See, that's where
This is where we need
there's
shulker
a little
boxes.
I will talk about mods now. There's a mod called Carry On that it lets you in, or when you have like nothing in your hands, you can literally sneak and right click, and it grabs the chest
like an Enderman.
and then you can move it. Yeah, it's so handy.
I mean, most of my farms are going to go in this little town area anyway, when it becomes a town, but... I mean, to be fair, I think I'm going to do a little square, not quite as extravagant as Chuck's, but I think I want it, like, back here. As long as it's in my simulation distance, and that'd be cool. Like, I don't know, right here would be good.
Oh, over there? Okay. You mean the town center, or you mean like the farm?
The farm, as in, sorry.
Oh, okay,
I mean, like,
okay.
tucked away in this little parcel.
You will build the water bottle kind of recycling mod creation portion.
Sure.
But then you need an extended part where it's the bigger footprint, because what it does is that it creates Chuck, you've probably seen this model before, which is you do it manually. You put the dirt And the machine, the way that it's built is it recognizes that you put it, the piston moves it, that it throws the water bottle in it, it turns it into mud. But then it starts pushing the blocks. And then when it gets to a certain point, there's a bunch of other pistons that push the whole row of mud forward. And then you...
I'm just going to cut Zen off. Neither of them have noticed what I just put in their hands.
I think it's 13 rows of 8 mud blocks. Now,
I'm very privileged to have these two helping me out making this.
Is that you can then, instead of just running it on the floor, you run it on dripstone and you make it a hollow at the bottom. And then you put the dripstone, and then that mud then starts drying out and becomes clay. It'll make sense. I don't know if it made sense, but it'll make sense.
Yeah, I've seen people build them. I don't touch them because that kind of like that amount of moving parts tends to throw me off a little bit. But
I got some more blocks for you if you need it.
All right, so you see how this okay.
I feel like the assistant for a build that's on my base.
Look, is it
This is huge, by the way. I did not expect it to be this big.
Yeah, the foothold is a little, the footprint is a little big, but it's mainly because this is the area where I'm walking right now. This is where the mud rows,
Okay.
the rows of mud blocks will come. So here, it's basically where you're gonna stand, and it's gonna push them that way, and then they come here. There's a bunch of pistons here,
Sure.
and then they go
I know
block,
what you're talking
block,
about.
block, block,
Okay.
block, block. If you do F4, you do free cam.
Mhm.
That's the shape of the farm.
That is so weird.
I know, it's strange. But you'll see. So now we can start building, because it really isn't that difficult to build. But we gotta bring all the stuff from over there over here. Yeah, so talking about the hoe and the fortune hoe and everything, I love to do the wheat gathering and farming with my fortune hoe
Mhm.
because
Oh, I bet it would be good with carrots.
you get a ton. Oh yeah, you get a ton of seeds, and what I do is that's my bone meal source. I just build a
Okay.
little bone meal contraption like composter,
Mhm.
and you get so many seeds when you have a ton of wheat that you just recycle them, and then you can just do a massive farming like thing going on with the whole hoe and the fortune and all that stuff. It's actually
Sure.
pretty cool. Do you want to build it as in with aesthetics, or do you want to just do it in grass and just make it functional for now?
I mean, I'll use an actual block for it that's not dirt, but I'm going to build a shell around it later anyway. So, I mean,
Okay,
like
so-
planks or stone, whatever's easy, just not dirt,
So,
preferably.
Whatever that it's inside of the scaffolding, it's your floor. Okay?
Okay. Oh, okay.
So-
the grass is fine then. Sorry. I thought you
For
meant like
now?
the outside,
Okay.
yeah.
No, yeah. Here, like where the scaffolding is, this is where you do like the aesthetic part, like the walls or whatever. You wanna
Okay,
do.
so I can replace this
Um,
at some point. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll take him out once I'm done with it. This is just to tell me
Okay.
where things are,
Sure,
so
sure.
that I can build the functional part.
Not a problem.
And then all that, the other stuff. Once we're done with the functional part, we take this away, and I'll take the scaffolding back. Okie dokie.
I sure am glad you guys know what you're doing.
Oh.
I'm just here to watch. I also still have no idea how this works. Does mud, when it dries out, turn into clay?
yes.
Yes, that's the whole thing.
Okay, that makes more sense then.
Yeah, so the dripstone with the stalactite underneath it pulls the moisture out of the block and it becomes clay.
Oh, that's so clever. I swear I've played this game pretty much since launch.
It's not one of the things that I think most people ever bother with, so...
To be honest, I don't know how most farms work.
So you just stand there and you just continue placing dirt in this spot.
Mhm.
This is full of water bottles,
Sure.
and that's going to, dispense? It's going to dispense water into the block. The piston is going to detect that, or there's actually a tick, so it does that automatically. And that's going to push these blocks over as you keep placing more.
Mhm.
And then when it gets down to the end, The block that ends up here, over this redstone torch, finishes this circuit, which pushes all of the pistons, which pushes all of this over the dripstone. It's
Okay.
not as bad as the allays laughing. That's not great.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's a bit creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know. One of my least favourite sounds, actually, and I only discovered this because of your square, walking on mud. Or, like, I don't know what it is about the mud bricks, but the slapping sound that it makes.
Yeah, the weirdly wet noise.
Yeah. So as you guys can see, I'm currently in a group with Zen, but he's not here. We were just having a chat. But I have started building the outline for a building to cover up the wonderful clay farm that him and Chuck kindly built for me. Again, as I've said, copying that style. This is the style that I'm going to be using for the majority of my builds. But I'm going to make it a bit more grand. This town centre area is going to be a town centre. It's going to be a focal point, you know what I mean? I think the clips in this episode are going to be really sporadic because it's been a couple of days since I last recorded, just because I was really busy yesterday in real life. So I can't actually remember where I left off in terms of commentary, but we're back. This is what we've gotten so far. This is just a little, I don't even know what it's going to be, like a town hall, mainly just to cover up the wonderful clay farm that Zen and Chuck built. So it's going to be a bit of a big building. It's going to be a centerpiece for the town square, but it's not going to be, this is not the temple that I want to build. I was saying to Zen that the temple I want to build it like up on this part of the plateau, looking over the rest of the town. Another idea I have for a future episode is to carve a full-size statue of me into this mountainside that again overlooks everything, and I just want that to be visible from every part of the town. So in terms of the front of the build, I'm liking where it is from a very basic standpoint. I mean, I haven't done any detailing whatsoever. I do want to mimic the gradient that I've done over on the stables. I really love that, and something that texture, that palette is going to be really consistent for my builds, with, you know, deviations here and there. Another block that I want to be quite heavy on, which I haven't used a lot yet, is spruce planks, just because I think spruce complements sandstone really well. Up in the top, up there, I'm going to have some blocks at the back, like white blocks possibly, or sandstone even, blocking out the gap, and then I'm going to have armor stands just at the top to make it look like a little temple, I guess, because, you know, Roman and Greek towns, they would have multiple temples to different gods / goddesses, so, you know, maybe this will be a temple. Right, so we still have only done the front of the building, but I've done some light detailing only because I ran out of smooth sandstone, so I did some detailing just to get some blocks back. I also put my armor stands up. These guys are going to be put in leather, like dyed leather armor, and have a sword each. But I'm liking how this is looking. It's turning out quite well. I'm actually very, very into the front of this build. I've started placing the blocks around so you can get the general shape of the building. Might extend it even further out, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But as of right now, I am enjoying this build. Right, guys. So I overplanned for this week, and lost a lot of time due to the fact that I just didn't record. So apologies for that. And we have unfortunately run out of time for building. So at the moment, this is all you guys get to see. I'm sorry if that disappoints any of you, but the last few days I have just not been able to get online and play because I've been quite busy in real life. So, you know, unfortunately that has to take number one priority. However, there is one more thing that I would like to do before we finish, and that is build some iron golems to protect the town. So we've now got the Praetorian Guard. Now, at the moment, this is not historically accurate because I have a Praetorian Guard guarding a temple. If you know anything about Rome, the Praetorian Guard were the fiercely loyal yet unloyal bodyguards of the emperors of Rome, the Caesars. and I have them guarding the temple at the minute, but they will be moving to my house once I've built one. That's not that. Once I've built my my palace, then I will be having them surrounding the perimeter there. But as I said, that is all we have time for this video. I'm very sorry about, one, how late this video is going to be, and two, the fact that I was a bit too ambitious and haven't completed all the tasks I needed to do. I'm just really behind, but I will be finishing these 2 buildings off camera and hopefully getting out another episode within the week. I do need to plan that out though. This episode had a lot less planning than the other 2, so I just put myself behind, and as I said, last week I did so much stuff without recording. So yeah, I'm gonna get this edited and get it out there. So thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.